Thank you very much. First of all, I must thank Dr. Nibha for calling us one. Second, allowing Dr. Sanjeev Haribhakti to do his surgery training in AIMS and in Lucknow when they were married even. And then to start a hospital of that magnitude. And then to carry on writing books after books. I must say that all thanks to Dr. Nibha rather than to Dr. Sanjeev only. And honestly, when we met in the last CME, I was thrilled that Dr. Sanjeev Haribhakti has written a book which is very, very close to our heart, Big 5 Lessons of Life. And believe me, after reading once, cover to cover, I had to restart and underline the book so that ultimately I am still the student. I am trying to unlearn, learn and relearn. And that has been my passion for last so many years. I must thank in the same spirit Dr. Adarsh Chaudhary. He has been my mentor for last decades, 3 or 4 decades. And he is responsible for whatsoever I am going to speak today. And in the end, I would not miss an opportunity to thank Dr. Indu Bhatia, my wife, who in spite of my Sunday stories, my presenting all these, she has come here to listen to me also. Thank you very much. And in this photograph, are you able to see the earth? Are you able to see India? Are you able to see Sir Gangaram Hospital and Bhatia Global Hospital? Are you able to see Parveen Bhatia in this? So why ego? Why me? Why I? Our thoughts are that we have to tell our younger colleagues that we just had an existence which is non-existing. And ultimately we will too shall pass away. And we have to pass on the messages. As frankly speaking, when I went to, both of us, Indu and me, went to Masai Mara, we were surprised when we were taken after the visit to Masai Mara National Reserve to this airport. Can you imagine? This is an airport. We are standing on an airport and we had to take a flight from Masai Mara to Nairobi on such a airstrip. So this is the existence. Oof, you are gone. What I mean to say, we care so much for us, but ultimately my motto in life has been inspire or expire. If I am able to inspire the younger colleagues, my job is done. And if I am not able to inspire the people, I should expire. I should not be existing. So that is the thought that always keeps me motivated and keeps me in the line so that ultimately I am able to sum up. And I would say Dr. Sanjeev Haribhakti did an injustice to all of us today. He should have allowed us to speak for hours and hours, and then I could have spent maybe whole day to tell you so many lessons which I have learned in my life. So I phoned him, do you want life lessons or do you want surgical lessons? He says life lessons. So he says that you have to sum up your presentation in 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, if 5 lessons have to be projected, then it becomes challenging. And it took time for me to present, and I would be dwelling in next 18 minutes on this. First lesson of my life has been cut 1 mark if possible. Second lesson has been it's all about finding the calm in the chaos. Third lesson is stay positive. Will surprise you by my positive energy level. And lesson number 4 is respond but never react. And fifth lesson, and to me that is the most important surgical lesson also, a split second becomes eternal. And I will spend few minutes, 3 slides each on these 5 lessons, and I will complete my job. When I was a student in class 9, 10th and 11th, in mathematics paper, I used to write at the end of it, cut 1 mark if possible. And teacher could not cut it. And can you imagine, I was carrying that emotion, and I was telling my younger colleagues in Gangaram Hospital as well as in Bhatia Global Hospital that today you have done lab Koli, is it possible to cut 1 mark or not? Yes sir, I have done my best. That's it. That means you are trying to do your best, and that is the way I have also been operating throughout my life, that isme ek bhi number katna nahi chahiye. I should give my best to the patient, and then only patient's best will come back to me. And can you imagine, I operated on a patient recently, and my habit is that I ask the patient on the table before the induction, what are you going to do, so that I make them relaxed before they go in for induction. So I asked her, what are you doing? So she says that I am a mathematics teacher. So I told her that in mathematics, I used to score 100% marks, and I used to write at the end of the paper, cut 1 mark if possible. She says, ho hi nahi sakta. How is it possible? Could your teacher cut 1 mark? I said, no. Then after follow-up, then I asked her, can you now tell me that how could I write this? She says that nobody can write it. I said, I have been writing it. If you say that I am lying, it's up to you. And I told her that my policy in life has been check, 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 cross check, counter check, check and check. And I have not been checking the question from the top to the bottom, but I have been checking from the answer to the question. So this is the way I have been doing all the workshops, all the conferences, all the presentations, all the surgeries, so that ultimately check, 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 recheck, cross check, counter check, check and check has become famous with my name. I would put it this way. And again, for younger colleagues, I would tell them that even if you are going through hell, keep moving. That is the only way you will come out. There have been many situations in life also, in surgery also, that if we are passing through or we are doing a rough kind of operation, we are not able to get the Callet's anatomy, for example, but patience brings patience, patients bring patience. So our thoughts are that please carry on moving, never ever give up in life, and you will be able to come out of the hell. And as has been presented in the morning also, that we should always remain intensely focused. If we are focused, what we are going to do, and our intensity is there, our consistency is there, and Dr. Chaudhary pointed out to me that you should boast of this newsletter. I said, no, I should not. But he says, no, when we started our newsletter from Global Hospital, it was in November 2001. And he told me that around 18% of the journals die down in 2 years. So you should be sure that if you have such substance, then only publish a newsletter, otherwise please don't start it. And God has been ultra kind that we have been able to publish the newsletter for last 22 years, and it every month on 22nd of month it goes to 6,000 people all over the country, and we have been able to contribute maybe a small drop in the ocean. So our thinking is, 1, the intensity, and 2, the consistency has to be there. And for this, and especially for my younger colleagues, I must say the lessons of my life is that we have to be disciplined. Disciplined would mean, how can I be disciplined? I have this habit of getting up at 4 a.m. for ages now. And at the time of getting up and at the time of waking up, the time should be, interval should be 0. When I start teaching my younger colleagues, telling my younger colleagues that the time between waking up and getting up should be 0, then how can it be that I will carry on sleeping? So I have to get up, and after getting up 4 a.m., doing physical exercise, weightlifting at this age also, strenuous weightlifting at this age also for 1 hour, and then I go for morning walk and so on and so forth. But can you imagine, Dr. Chaudhary gave me a phone call a few days back, and he says that, what are you doing? So I told him, I am connected to the connective tissues. I was doing a hernia, and I was feeling as if the bilaminar fascia transversalis is meant for us. The God has created the planes only for us, the surgeons. So why not work in those planes? The vessels are away. Why should we not respect the anatomy? Once I am connected to my own self, once I feel God lies within me, devil also lies within me, enemy also lies within me, tissue I have to respect, then only the tissue is going to respect me. So that is the thought, that either suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret, and never ever quit. This is me. Inside the frog is in me. I am in the mouth of the stork, and I am trying till the last moment that I will never ever give up, and ultimately many times the stork is dead, the frog is still playing. Lesson number 2 is, when I am operating, and there will be some situations. Day before yesterday when we started from New Delhi, then my wife, being a laparoscopic gynecologist, she was operating on a very, very challenging hysterectomy, and it was all adherent to rectum and every structure. So she called me, she called for help, that is very good. But when I started operating, because I had to take the flight in the evening, I had to operate one of the obstructed hernias in Sir Gangaram Hospital. So I was carrying on reinforcing in my mind, calmness is superpower. Calmness is superpower. Suffer mein nikloge, dhoop to hogi hi. And it is all about finding the calm in the chaos. And once that kind of habit is there, that chaos will be there. Difficult anatomy, difficult surgery, difficult situations will be there. But if you are able to calm yourself throughout, then definitely you will be able to come out in the end. And lesson number 3 will surprise you with my positive energy level. This is my tagline on my WhatsApp, and it has been there for ages now. Our feeling is that most of us are not positive. We are living the life of a makhi. There is a difference between makhi and madhumakhi. Makhi is that it will always find out wherever there is a shit, it will sit there. But whereas a honeybee will always find a flower, even if lot of shit is there, but always will find a flower, suck the nectar and do the job. So what I mean to say, be a madhumakhi and not a makhi. Remain positive. Don't try to find out the weather is not good. You go to the hill station and then they start saying that a lot of cold weather is there. So you have come to a hill station. Why should you crib? You enjoy that weather. You enjoy everything. And believe in yourself. That is a very, very important. Most of the times, I would put it this way, that we start competing with each other. I think, let's be very straight about it, we have to compete with our own self. Why should we compete with others? I remember a small story of frogs that they announced that on this day in the morning at 7 a.m. they will be racing towards the top of the mountain. And as the frogs started running, more onlookers had collected, more criticizers had collected, and they were cheering up, and they were very, very happy when one frog falls down, second one falls down, third one also. But ultimately, at the end, one frog could reach the top of the mountain. Those onlookers, those criticizers, they told the frogs that find out how could it be that that frog has reached the top of the mountain and not you. And then any and every frog started giving an excuse. Oh, I am doing so much, I am earning so much, why should I work hard? I am having enough, I am spending time with my family, and so on and so forth. But ultimately, they were not interested in finding out that why did you fall off. They were interested in how that frog reached the top of the mountain. And then when they interviewed the frog carried on smiling. Frog carried on smiling. They were surprised. How could it be? He is not answering us. And would you be surprised? Frog was deaf. Frog was deaf to the criticism. He was looking at the onlookers, he was looking at the criticizers that, oh, cheer up, but he was always thinking that it is all cheer up. They are not critics, and he could carry on and reach the top of the mountain. And believe me, you have to decide within your own self to be happy. There is nobody can make you happy or unhappy. You have to decide within your own self that you have to remain happy. And this was the lesson which was given to me by my late Professor Dr. B.S. Rana from Maulana Azad Medical College. We were recently married in our post-graduation days in Maulana Azad Medical College. And anytime and every time, he says that any fool can do the surgery. Any fool can learn surgery. You have to learn the values of life. And I was always thrilled. And one day he said, respond but never reacted. So I thought, honestly, that he must have overheard that yesterday night both me and wife have fought with each other. So he was giving respond but never react. No, our thoughts were, whenever some situations are there in laparoscopy, in surgery, in life, if we have a habit of not reacting, and we just respond, our job is done, and this too shall pass. Time is the best healer. Would you be thinking about the Buddha story? One day, somebody spat on Buddha, and Buddha never responded, never reacted. The same night, the person could not sleep, and he came next day only. Sir, I am very sorry. I have found out that you are a great person, and I did a mischief, and I spat on you because somebody else had told me. I am very, very sorry. Buddha never reacted. And after 5 days of remorse, repenting, that man came back again and said that, I am surprised that how could it be that when I spat on you, you never responded, never reacted. When I came to say sorry, apologize, then also there was no reaction. What was the answer of Buddha? He said that if you had come 20 years before, I would have done the same. I would have reacted when you had spat on me. I would have also maybe beaten you. And when you praised me, then I would have embraced you. But now I have gone beyond, and I have gone within myself. I do not want to react to any situation. I just want to respond. And I think this very lesson has paid me very much in my life, and I want my younger colleagues, my children, also learn this, that there will be a number of situations in surgery, in life, that when the situation can be deteriorated by just a reaction or an overreaction. So respond, never ever react. And the last lesson is a split second becomes eternal. And for example, if somebody is operating the gallbladder surgery, or if distractions lead to disasters, many of us carry on attending the phone calls from home or wherever, whenever. And if you injure the CBD, I always tell my younger colleagues, you are going to make this patient or this person a biliary cripple. A split second becomes eternal. So just think about it. When I do bariatric surgery, at the clipping, at the stapling, I always tell, please, the last stapler has to be fired. When there is doubt, there is no doubt, because 70% of the leaks will be at G junction. So split second becomes eternal. You will try to think that you are saving the cost of one cartridge, but imagine the cost of the complications which the patient is going to suffer in life That is very, very important. So my thinking is, most of us, I'm so sorry, I get pained that most of us are not sensitive to the patients. Most of us are either counting money or counting our hours, how many hours we have worked. We should be sensitive, especially my younger colleagues should be sensitive to the patients. Patients should be treated as my mother, my brother, my sister, and then only I should do the surgery. Otherwise, I should not be allowed to do surgery. And in the end, I would just sum up with one small story. And for this, बहु बीती थोड़ी रही, बहुत बीत गई, थोड़ी रही, पल पल गई बिहाए, एक घड़ी के कारणे मत कलंक लग जाए. What I mean to say that just you have done such great job throughout your life. You have operated so many surgeries. But if you do one mistake and ultimately the patient has cascade of events, your job, your life, your sensitivity is gone. So our thinking is that once we have done so good with our friends, with our relations, with our family, so why should we do anything which will ultimately kalank our life? So the story is that there was a king. He called all the kings, Big 5 kings from all over the world, and they were sitting in the evening with him, and he called one prostitute or a tabayaf to do the night singing throughout night, and he called his guru also, and the king gave the envelope of ashrafis, the coins, to the guru, and he instructed that whenever you feel that she has recited a beautiful couplet or she has done a good dance, then you can give her the money. And would you be surprised, at 4 a.m. the tabalchi who was with her singing, and so he started dozing off. And when he started dozing off, she used this couplet, बहुत बीत गई रात, थोड़ी सी रही, पल पल गई बिहाए, एक घड़ी के कारणे मत कलंक लग जाए. If you doze off now, if you sleep off now, whole of my dance, whole of my night, everything will be wasted. So he could understand, and he started playing tabla very well, but that guru also could understand, and he threw all the ashrafis on that prostitute or a female. And after that, son of Raja, of king, Prince also gave his diamond ring and threw it at her. The daughter, who was not getting married for so many years, she also gave a necklace of diamond in front of her. And after that, that singer started again going towards the king. And when she was going towards the king, Bahu Biti Thodi Rahi, Pal Pal Gai Bihai, he said, no, stop it now. You are not going to tell me this. You are just a simple tabaif or a singer, and you have earned so much in one night. He has given you all the ashrafis. My son has given the diamond ring. My daughter has given a necklace of diamonds to you. Please do not come to me. It is not done. You should not have done it. Guru says, don't stop Raja. Don't stop her, because she is my guru. How? Because I have been spending my life learning, teaching, unlearning throughout, but today, I don't know, I felt that I was not doing the justice to my sainthood, and that is the reason. As soon as she had this, ek ghadi ke karne mat kalank lag jaye, that is the reason that I threw out or gave her all the money, that I am at guilty and I will never do it, I am going. And what about the prince? Prince says, why did I give the diamond ring to her? Because honestly, you were adamant to remain the king of this area. You are not giving up. So I had plans that today you will be killed. My father will be killed and I will become the king of this place. But after listening to this sentence, ek घड़ी के कारणे मत कलंक लग जाए, I have changed my mind, and that is the reason that I gave this ring to. And why did you give? Daughter was asked, why did you give the necklace? She says, I was not getting married. I was getting frustrated for so many years, but I was running away with my Mahavat, the elephant driver. So I was running away today itself with my Mahavat, but as soon as I heard this couplet and I thought that ek ghadi ke karne kahin kalank na lag jaye, that is the reason that I have given my necklace. And can you imagine what was the response of that girl? She says that if one sentence, a split second becomes eternal, if one sentence can change the lives of Guruji, daughter, prince, and you, Raja, I also changed my life. From now onwards, I am not going to sing, I am not going to perform, and I will lead a holy life afterwards. And I will not have any cascade of events. And that is my message to our younger colleagues is, please, power of now, power of one has to be appreciated, and never ever think that you are learned. The day you become learned, you are doomed. Please remain a learner, unlearn, learn, and relearn, and then only, and never ever think that I am Dr. Parveen Bhatia. Please take out I out of this and remain humble, have the humility, one poof, and you are gone. So why should have ego stand in between us? We have ultimately been able to serve the people, the poor, the VIPs, everyone. So we should carry on in the same wavelength and help the people as much as possible before saying goodbye. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. God bless you all.